What's up, everybody? You are tuned in to the Cris
And Mal.
podcast, episode 133, Big Energy Monday. Hope everybody's having a good Monday, whatever you're doing. I know it's the holidays right now. You with your family, or whatever you're doing. Just hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for tuning in to the show. Um, Appreciate you on all of y'all that are listening on the playback and watching on the playback. We got a lot of topics to get into. College football games happen this weekend. Of course, the NFL games, some boxing, and a little college basketball too. Before we get into that, Ma, what's going on, brother?
I'm good, man. How you doing, brother? What's going
I'm,
on?
I'm all right, man.
Yeah, it's good,
I'm
man.
all right.
Holiday season coming up, Christmas and stuff. Ready?
Yeah, I'll be at work.
Mm, okay.
So,
Feel it.
for sure, man. All right, let's talk a little college football, man.
Let's do it.
Do this. All right, yeah, there you go. Let's turn down. And all right. So Friday we had the first game, Indiana versus Notre Dame. This game wasn't really that close. Notre Dame did whatever they won. They won the line of scrimmage. It was close in a little bit in the beginning, but then they just pulled away. And that defense was just all over Indiana. They couldn't do nothing with it. That running game was running all over them, and just like we thought, I thought Notre Dame would dominate this game. I just thought they were the better team. And I didn't like the way Indiana looked when they went against Ohio State, and I didn't think it was going to be any different. So, yeah, man.
No, I agree with you. Like, this is something that we both kind of saw coming. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I do think Indiana did deserve to be in the playoff. They gave it a good shot. It's just the elements going into Notre Dame, the environment. I think we all both agree that this team is really, really talented. One of the more talented teams. I think they're up there with like Ohio State and Oregon and stuff like that. They're just a more physical team. Indiana has always had trouble. They had trouble running the ball. That's something that they've been pretty much known for. And then obviously they couldn't get anything going in the passing game. The defense didn't help out at all either. So, but hey, man, me and you both picked Notre Dame to kind of go through this tourney and potentially be champions. So either way, me and you are not surprised by it. So congrats to Notre Dame, and shout out to Indiana, man. They had a great year. Obviously, it's not the way they wanted to finish, but hey, man, gotta give them props for at least putting the effort in. They kind of made it close at the end, but we knew it was a little bit too late.
Yeah, for sure. And then the Saturday games, you had SMU against Penn State. That was the early game. This one was way more worse than the Indiana Notre Dame game. But Penn State did what they want. SMU's quarterback, he looked rattled. He threw 3 interceptions. I think he threw 2 pick sixes. And Penn State, they just capitalized on those. You get down in the second quarter, 28-0. That's a hard climb, and it's just by the second half of the game, it was just over. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Penn State though, and shout out to James Franklin for getting a big win.
Yeah, man. Honestly, like I think SMU started the game off really well. Like their offense was moving the ball all throughout that defense. Obviously, they had a great play where Jennings had a roll out, and it looked like he had the first down, but he saw the tight end wide open, but he just missed through the pass in the end zone, which could have easily been caught. And then the defense made a key stop when they got the ball back, but then once Jennings threw that bad pick six, man, it's just the wheels kind of fell off, man, and then it just seemed like that environment was just too overwhelming for him. And then you just kind of could see it. It was just the overwhelming effect. Once Jennings just seemed like he was just out of control, the rest of the team, the defense started, missing tackles, missing their lanes, and you just kind of saw the confidence wane from this team play by play. You know what I mean? So it actually sucked. I think if Jennings I think if SMU would have got that touchdown in the beginning of the game, I think this game might have been a totally different story. But hey, man, shout out to Penn State, man. They did get a big win at home. Obviously, we need to see them play against the likes of like an Ohio State, Oregon, Notre Dame, something like that. But overall, man, they got the win and they moved on to the next round.
Tennessee and Clemson were the afternoon game. Or Texas, Clemson, I'm sorry, were the afternoon game. Texas, got that early lead. By the second half, it was 28-10. But then in the third quarter, Clemson started, slowing it down a little bit going into the fourth quarter. They had got it into one score where it was 31-24. And you saw Clemson starting to get a little momentum, and then Texas took that right away with one run from I think his name is Blue, the running back. He ran I want to say like a 60-yard touchdown and sucked that energy right up out of there. So that was the difference in the game right there. And Clemson could never gain that momentum that they had a little bit going for them. But shout out to Cade Klubik. He had a pretty decent game, but it just it was just a little bit too late for them to build this comeback. So shout out to Texas though. They showed up and showed out, and they made the plays they needed to make to take the game away. So shout out to Texas.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my dog too for interrupting our podcast. But look, man. Congrats to Texas for winning, but this is one of the reasons why I get a little nervous with them moving on into these next set of games, because it's only going to get tougher from here. Obviously, they're well talented, but I don't know, man. This team just has a problem with closing some of these games. Like, you cannot do this same thing going up against better competition, because those teams will come back and win. Like, obviously, Clemson, they gave it a good shot. If it wasn't for that big breakout touchdown that you just recently talked about, we don't know where this game might have gone. Me and you were both watching this game, and it just turned real quick. You know what I mean? So, and especially doing that at Texas. So you started off strong, then you get kind of lackadaisical in those middle quarters, and then all it takes is just like that for momentum to change. So Texas needs to get on their A game, man. They need to focus all four quarters, because it's only going to get tougher from here. But congratulations to them for getting this win. They're too talented to be giving up big leads like this, and as I said, it's only going to get tougher from here on out.
Yeah, for sure. And then we had the night game, or the 5 o'clock game, Ohio State versus Tennessee. First quarter, Ohio State goes up 21. Tennessee, they end up, getting 10 in the second quarter, but then in the third quarter, Ohio State marches back with 2 more touchdowns, and then another 7 in the fourth quarter, and they was just too much for Tennessee. Tennessee is a young team. That quarterback is young. He had a couple of turnovers too in this game, and they just couldn't get nothing going against this Ohio State team. And this was a good bounce back after the debacle at Michigan for Ohio State. You could tell that they came out hungry and wanting to erase that bad taste out of their mouths. But Tennessee, they didn't have enough for Ohio State at the end of the day.
Yeah. Look, man, I think we just saw the youth of this Tennessee team. And then obviously that, I'm going to be honest with you, whatever strength and conditioning program that Tennessee has, they need to be better, because all homies with them shirts off, they did not look firm. They look a little flabby a little bit. I'm talking about linemen, linebackers, cornerbacks. I ain't seen not one muscle-bound freak out of that whole squad. That says a lot to me about that weight training program. I don't know. That was just me. I don't know if Chris took away the same kind of thing. But at the end of the day, look, man, Ohio State is really, really talented. But it still didn't answer a lot of questions for me. Yes, they were really dominant against Tennessee, but I'm not really surprised, man. Me and you both kind of talk about it. The quarterback for Tennessee was very, very. The youth just kind of just showed. So obviously they got a huge game against Oregon. I know me and you were kind of talking that maybe Ohio State could possibly win that game, but I don't know, man. I still like Oregon. I kind of flipped my mind, and I still like Oregon. I know we're going to talk about that more as the days come up closer to that game, but I don't know. I still got some questions with Ohio State, but that's just me.
No, I hear you. All right, man. That's our college playoff recap.
What's your overall take about the tournament so far? Do you especially with all the noise with them, teams complaining, you saw Lane Kiffin, kind of talking his shit about his team not getting involved. What's your kind of whole thought process of everything so far with the first week of the playoff?
Um, Look, let's just be honest. First week of the playoffs usually tend to be like this, regardless of who's in the first round. Like they usually be below. It may be one game where uh, uh underdog comes out and either wins or keeps it close. You know what I'm saying? It's a close pullout, loss or something like that. But for the most part, first rounds are all going to be blowouts. That's why I wasn't really expecting fireworks, in this first, especially from like SMU and Indiana. No disrespect to them. It's more. I thought SMU had a possibility to be a little bit more competitive, but what I saw from Indiana when they faced Ohio State, I just felt like Notre Dame was going to bully them. They was going
Yeah.
to push them around because that's what Ohio State did. They just pushed them around. They couldn't get nothing going. They couldn't get their offense going. It was just whatever. So I knew Notre Dame was going to just do whatever they want with them. But as far as SMU, I thought SMU had a little bit of a chance because the whole big games for James Franklin and how Penn State acts when they go against teams in big games, that they had a chance to lay an egg, but they didn't. They blew them out, and it is what it is. Now, as far as Ohio State and Tennessee, I thought Tennessee had a little bit of a chance. More, I thought they was going to put up a better showing than what they put up on Saturday, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna sit here and say these teams don't deserve to be here. I mean, they won, so yeah, they deserve to be there. But when it comes to first rounds, they tend to be blowout. I mean, same thing with the NFL playoffs. We're gonna see a couple of them games are not gonna be close. So it is what it is.
No, I agree with you. Like I think the whole sentiment has been just I think it's been blown out. I think what would help both cases in the NCAA and NFL is maybe possibly reseeding because look, like you look at the NFL currently, you're gonna have either the Minnesota team or the Detroit Lions team being in the fifth seed with 14 wins, 13 to 14 wins. That sounds insane. You know what I mean? So and then obviously, if you looked at this college football playoff, if they would have reseeded everybody in the proper place, I think you could have got better games. You would have got an Arizona State versus the SMU. You would have got maybe a Notre Dame versus Tennessee. That matchup could have looked a whole lot different. You know what I'm saying? You would have had Ohio State having a bye week. You wouldn't have Ohio State playing Oregon the second week into a 4-week playoff. And as far as like Lane Kiffin and Paul Feinbaum's, where were y'all at when Tennessee got the knocks blown the fuck off? Like they probably might have had the worst loss out of any team this weekend. And it got super quiet. Y'all were talking all that noise when Indiana lost. Y'all talked all that noise when SMU lost. Y'all talked all that noise when Clemson lost. But when it came to Tennessee and y'all SEC bias, and look, I'm an SEC guy. I'm a Florida Gator fan. That's my team. But I'm a realist when it comes to this shit. Y'all were very, very quiet. So, like, y'all got to keep that same energy with y'all squads, too. Tennessee did not put the SEC in a prominent light. It just really showed that this Tennessee team who went on to beat Alabama, who went on to beat certain teams, shows that Alabama had no business being in there. And then also, I want to make one more comment. Kirk Herbstreit kind of made this whole comment on live television where the committee should not look at wins. They should look at the who you beat. So you're pretty much telling me that you want us to just bypass the most important thing is this season. So you want to bypass wins. You just want to. So if a team can go 4-10, but all four of those teams they beat a Alabama, they beat a Georgia. That's what you're saying right now. Kirk Herbstreit, I respect you, my brother. I know you're going through a lot with the loss of your dog, and you know what I mean. And I know you're a great commentator. You're great for college football, but that might have been the dumbest shit, respectively, I've ever heard anybody in your place and importance to this game say, because that's idiotic to honestly say. You would have me more with a realignment to the order of the ranking in the playoffs. But for you to say something where we should just totally shit on teams that have 11 wins and win their conference championships, I'm sorry, all these teams deserve to be in there. SMU deserved it to be in there. I get it; they didn't win their ACC, but they only lost 2 games to 2 ranked teams. Like, what do you want me to do? So, I thought that was pretty idiotic, but that's just
me. Yeah, I hear you, brother. I agree.
Ben. Happy holidays, my brother.
All right, man. Let's I know you wanted to have your rant right now, so I want to give you the floor, sir.
Oh, you want me to do this now? I was gonna wait.
Because we're gonna end this on some positivity.
Yes, sir.
So,
okay.
So I want you to get this out the way. Hold on, let me set this up for you. So I want to get your move right.
Yeah, go ahead, go for it.
Go ahead.
All right, man. I've been thinking about all morning how I was gonna come in and respond to what I saw yesterday. So obviously, you guys know I'm a diehard Raider fan, and it's been to the point of our season where there's really no point in us, winning anything. I told y'all I was really nervous about this game, but if the Raiders were very smart, they would make sure we would lose this game. But you know what they did? They decided to start Aiden O'Connell. They decided to play all these great players, Brock Purdy, Jacoby Myers. And then you know what? We ended up winning 19-14 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And you know what that currently did? That dropped us from being a top 2 guaranteed pick to now being 6. So you know what that also does? It takes us out of the light to draft either Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. Now, is there still games left to be played? Absolutely. Do we know exactly what our actual draft order is possibly going to be? No. But you know what the Raiders just did? They just made it even harder for us to actually draft a quarterback when we actually fucking need one. You have fucking Raider fans who are actually celebrating us winning a meaningless game the couple of days before Christmas Eve. What do we accomplish by winning this fucking game? And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. This ain't for the players on the team. Y'all gonna play hard regardless. I understand, but this is the organizational failure right now. This is a Mark Davis failure. Why are you actually giving this Raiders team an actual opportunity to win a fucking game that we don't need to win? AP talking about some dumb shit, talking about, go ask Tom Telesco. Nigga, fire this motherfucker, please. Save him from himself, because he's at this point, I can't even be mad at AP. He's fighting for his job. He's gonna ask these players to fight. You can't be too mad at AP. But it gets to the point where this organization just keeps doing idiotic thing after idiotic thing. You had an opportunity to get CJ Stroud. You picked Jimmy Garoppolo. You had an opportunity to get Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams or Drake May. But you know what you decided to do? Win meaningless games to hire a head coach with no fucking experience. Then you said, hire head coach with no experience over Hardball, who has all the experience in the world, that just came off of winning a goddamn national championship with the Michigan Wolverines. And you know what the San Diego Chargers are doing? They're actually fending for an actual playoff spot. They actually look like a real team. This is the same team we beat by 45 plus points last year. And you know what they're doing? They're having a better record than us. So we just won a game against the lonely fucking Jacksonville Jaguars for no fucking reason. So we can obviously pick 6 and possibly get a Quinn Ewers. Now we got Raider fans talking about we don't know if fucking Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders is going to be worth the number 1 pick. We said that shit with CJ Stroud. What did CJ Stroud turn into? We said that shit with Jaden Daniels. What did that turn into? What the fuck are we doing as an organization? We got idiots as fans who are actually clamoring for a fucking win because of some bullshit ass slogan, just win, baby, that hasn't been relevant since fucking the early 80s. We haven't been relevant since the 2000s. We had one good winning season, and that was back in 2016, where we got bounced out of the wild card because they decided to play Derek Carr, and guess what? A meaningless game. So what are we doing? Now you got people talking about, Aiden Connell is the answer. No, the fuck he is not. Sorry, he is not. I get it. Oh, we can draft Ashton Genty. Ashton Genty is not what the fuck we need. We need a quarterback. Oh, so now we're going to go and sign Sam Darnold to a massive ass contract because he had one great year with the Minnesota Vikings to set it up. Do we have a Kevin O'Connell to be his QB coach? No, we do not. Who's going to be our coach? Who's going to be our GM? Who's going to be our quarterback? We got Max Crosby, who's damn near talking about he's fucking depressed every week for putting on the goddamn Raiders jersey because he's going to lose. We have an empty stadium every fucking week with Raider fans, or it's taken over by another fan base. You know why? Because the Raiders do dumb shit every fucking year. So what are we doing? What are we doing? We're going to play the Saints. And Chris, you know what's going to happen? We're probably going to win that fucking game too and drop to like 8. So now we just won all these games. What's going to take for us to get a Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders? The only 2 quarterbacks that are even worth it in this fucking draft. So now if we want any of these guys, where Shedeur Sanders clearly wants to be a Las Vegas Raider, he said it on his fucking IG every fucking time. He's in Vegas every weekend. He thanks the good Lord every day above every time this fucking team loses. But you know what they decided to do? Win a fucking meaningless game. So now, if we want these quarterbacks, we're going to have to trade not 1, not 2, but probably 3 first-round picks in the future. So that's now going to fuck us up over in the future from adding more pieces to this team that we actually need when we could have just used the 1 fucking pick that we had to get said a player. So what are we doing? I got to sit here for another fucking year, sitting for another 500 season or below? I got to watch Ashton Genty and Brock Bowers and Max Crosby fighting to win 4 games again? I got to watch this probably get another dumbass fucking coach for nothing? Tom Brady, God, Lord, I pray to the Lords that you can fix this goddamn team. I pray to the Lords Mark Davis wipes this young bitch up so he can get out of the goddamn stadium and stay far away from this fucking team because they have no idea what the fuck they're doing. He in there celebrating this win like it's the fucking Super Bowl. You got AP fucking yelling Raiders for no fucking reason because you won against a 3-12 fucking team. So what are we doing? Raider fans, stop celebrating this dumb shit. Y'all sound like fucking idiots. This team is fucking mediocre and has been mediocre since 2000. What the fuck are we rooting for? What are we rooting for? We see the Chiefs dominating. We see the Broncos actually doing some shit after the bullshit that they did 2 years ago with fucking goddamn Russell Wilson. And yet we're the worst team in the fucking goddamn division. You got the San Diego Chargers. As I said, we beat them by 40 plus, and they're better than us. How, Sway? How? Oh my God, this fucking team is fucking ridiculous. I'm not wearing a Raiders logo until they get their shit together. I'm not supporting this team. This team is fucking foolish. And they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't even know how to lose right. You know we need a quarterback, but you decide to win a fucking meaningless game for nothing when you got 4 other teams who need quarterbacks. What are we doing? Oh my God. I'm sorry. This is ridiculous, bro. This team is fucking dumb. Oh my! I don't know why I root for this team. I don't know why. And any Raider fan that fucking supports this shit, golly, you're more foolish than Mark Davis and everybody else who runs this fucking team and celebrating a meaningless win that means nothing at the end of the day. Congratulations, you got a fucking meaningless win. What's that gonna put us for the next 4 years? In the same bullshit. Come on, man. This fucking team is ridiculous. Dumbass team celebrating a fucking goddamn win. Pop out the fucking cigars for this bullshit ass win. Sorry ass motherfuckers. This is ridiculous. Let's move on.
Y'all better get on the phone with New England. That's all I got to say.
Oh my God.
All right, man. Let's talk a little basketball. De'Aaron Fox trade rumors. I'm gonna let you talk about this one because you got all the info probably on this.
All right, let me calm down real quick. All right, so De'Aaron Fox trade rumors are starting to swell up a little bit. Obviously, he did not sign his contract extension going into the season, so that raised a couple eyebrows. And then obviously he did. He is with LeBron James's agent, Rich Paul's agency group. So he is represented by Rich Paul. And then there was a story that came out that him and Rich Paul met up with the Sacramento Kings brass to kind of discuss what the future of this team is going to look like. He's tired of losing in this capacity. This team is too talented to be continuously going through the roller coasters that it's going through. He's made comments in the media about possibly his interest in moving on. Like, he still says he wants to be able to live in Sacramento and have one of those careers where he stays on one team, but it's starting to slowly, in his mind, I think the realization is that sooner or later he's going to have to make a decision whether he supports what they're doing or he's going to have to move on. So I think it's heading towards the situation where I think it's more than likely that I think he will request a trade. I don't see how this team is getting any better. This is looking like the same team of old. The inconsistencies. I don't think firing Mike Brown is the answer. Obviously, people always go back towards that, but I don't think Mike Brown is a bad coach. But I don't know, man. I think there are some teams I think you need to look out for. You've heard rumors that the San Antonio Spurs are kind of being patient with everything. Obviously, they have a lot of ammo in their clip as far as like possibly making moves. Obviously, they probably want to upgrade the point guard position. Like, everybody loves Chris Paul. We know he's a future Hall of Famer, but he is up in age. He has already talked about that. He only probably has like one more year left as far as him playing. So obviously, you probably maybe want him to be your backup quarterback but point guard, and then have De'Aaron Fox be your starter. Like De'Aaron Fox in the Victor Wembanyama situation, I think that would be nice. I've also said the likes of maybe Alonzo Ball and Victor Wembanyama would be nice as well. But hey, man, I think it's going to come to that light where I think you're going to start hearing his name pop up a little bit more. Obviously, he still has one more year left on this current contract that he has, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does get traded. I think it'd be a little hard by All-Star break, but you never know. But I wouldn't be surprised if he were to get traded this offseason, especially if the season doesn't go the way that he wants it to go.
Do you think he could be a difference maker on somebody else's team?
Yeah, absolutely. In the right situation. I think especially with the light of you got the Miami Heat, I think a De'Aaron Fox, Bam Adebayo combination would be really, really nice. I don't know if they're capable of doing that. Obviously, you'll probably have to move off of Tyler Hero. You still got Jaime Vasquez and some of those guys on there. So I think that would be a good look. I said San Antonio Spurs, I think that would be an awesome look. There are other teams that De'Aaron Fox could go to. It just depends on the situation. Obviously, he wants to probably be in a win now situation. And when you really look at all the teams that are in the win now positions, they're probably they already have point guards. You would think like maybe the Los Angeles Lakers, but we don't have any kind of ammo to kind of pull off that kind of trade. Obviously, you would definitely have to add in Austin Reeves and probably a Dalton Connect, and obviously we got it. And then obviously salaries have to match. We're kind of in that second. We're kind of like in between the middle of the first and second threshold, so it'll be a lot tougher. With this Lakers team, I don't see any major movements until LeBron actually retires from this team. I think it's just going to be too hard. But I think those will be the teams. I think the main destination for De'Aaron Fox should be the San Antonio Spurs. You need to pair up with Victor Wembanyama. We see the talent that he is. He's, I think he got 40 points like a couple games ago. So, and then he's the fastest player to reach 200 3-pointers. Faster than Steph. So I think that would be the proper location for him. And I think you could see that team grow because I just think that team is missing a true point guard to help elevate Victor Wembanyama into even a better player, which is even scarier.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see if it happens. All right, man. Let's talk some boxing, man. We had a big fight Saturday. Usyk versus Fury happened. The second fight. It was a rematch. Usyk won the first fight, and so Tyson Fury wanted that rematch, and they got it. And it was a good fight, man. These guys were going back and forth. It went the distance. Nobody really it was no knockouts, but some good shots in there, and both of these guys battled to the end. This was the first fight where they used the AI judge. Now the decision ended up going Usyk's way. They had, I think two judges had it 116, 112. I think one of them had Somebody had 118, 111, or the other one had a one.
I think the AI one was the one that had the lopsided score. I think
Yeah.
everybody else was 116, 112. The actual judges was 116, 112.
I thought the fight was a little bit closer than that, but um, I'm not mad at Usyk winning the fight. I thought he took them later rounds,
Mhm.
started pulling away. He got some good shots on Tyson Fury, and especially that last round. I thought he won that last round. So, shout out to Usyk, man, for getting the dub. It looks like he probably will be fighting Dubois uh, in his next fight. I know they saying Tyson Fury wants to fight him again for a trilogy, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. But yeah, I can see Usyk probably fighting Dubois. Maybe maybe Anthony Joshua, but Joshua got to get another win under his belt. But yeah, man, good fight though. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I thought it was a good fight. I'm not mad at Usyk winning. I thought he did win. I said I
Mm,
agree with you. I think it was a way closer fight. As far as them trying to AI, that score was hideous. They need to go ahead and reconfigure that AI shit. That shit was crazy. But overall, I think I think Fury putting on all that weight kind of backfired. I would have loved to see him more trimmed up, more actually slimmed down. I think he would have had a better chance. Um, I don't know. His movement was just a little too slow for
slow,
me. Like
yeah.
it was just slower than what we're accustomed to seeing when Fury's actually in shape. I think he would have been way better suited for this fight. I don't know if he just added the weight to kind of I guess impose his weight on him and hopefully slow him
Mhm,
down. But obviously Usyk was just too smart. You know what I mean? Like he was just very counter active as far as like when Fury did try to do that. But overall, it was a good fight. Would I want to see a trilogy? Not right now. I think the perfect matchup for Fury, if he still wants to fight, I think Fury and Anthony Joshua just needs to go ahead and happen right now. I think that's the fight
mhm,
that needs to happen right now. Go ahead and have Usyk and Dubois fight, and then the winner of that should fight the winner of Usyk and Anthony Joshua. Or if people aren't scared of my African brother, go ahead and fight him too. Um, but I don't know if anybody really wants to fight my man. He seems like he's probably the person, the fighter, one of the top fighters that is being ran away from a lot. But if they're not going to give him that fight, because I think he's the one that truly deserves a Usyk fight, me personally. But
yeah.
I would love to see that. But obviously, it's going to be Dubois, and then obviously Usyk and I mean Fury and Joshua. I think that should be the marquee matchup probably for like next summer. Do that shit in Wembley. Both those five guys coming off of some tough losses. It would be good for them. And then you're also keeping them in a dominant way as far as like putting them in a high price
Mhm,
style fight. So and that'll be kind of like the loser kind of just needs to just walk away. You know
yeah.
what I mean? I think that'll be kind of one of those fights where it's kind of like they're in kind of like in this Deontay Wilder position where it's kind of like you're kind of seeing the end of the road, but
Mhm,
you know, if you can win, it might revitalize your career and your stardom and your potential of getting another big time title fight. But the loser, yeah, I think it would be really strong considerations of them just maybe moving forward. I don't think you'd be as marquee as you would be. Yeah, I think that's just something to look forward to. But hey, man, congratulations to Usyk. It was a great fight, good fight, very insane fight for sure.
I know there's rumors saying that Joshua is going to be fighting Zhang next, and that's a dangerous fight.
I think Joshua should not take that fight. I think Zhang and the African brother should be the fight. I think that would be a great fight that we all want to see. Those guys are heavy punchers, heavy hitters. Joshua, look, man, if you want that bread, you should really hit up Fury and be like, yo, when are you going to be ready next year? Let's make this fight. Let's do it at Wembley. That shit sits over 100,000 people or whatever the number is. Let's make this fight. And obviously the winner of that would rise up into a potential title fight contender. So I think that's the route Joshua goes. Now, if he wants to take the way the Zay fight, go for it. And if you win that fight, I'm gonna salute you because you know if you can go through that punishment, then I think that says a lot. You know, especially you coming bouncing back after the punishment that you did take.
Mhm.
But I don't know, man. His chin is pretty much made out of glass, and if he gets hit by my man, yeah, I don't think that's gonna end pretty at all, and they will
No,
never get the Fury and Joshua fight at all.
never ever. Oh well.
What do you think about? I just saw this Tiafimo and Sabril Matisse. They finalizing the fight for March 15th.
I mean, it's a good fight, but there's gonna be one of them fights when TFEMO looks terrible,
starts bullshitting.
Matisse might mess around and either look like he won, he
Yeah,
loses, but he should probably win, or he
yeah,
might, get a couple of knockdowns on Tiafimo, and now we looking at Tiafimo like,
right.
I only want Tiafimo to fight people he's motivated to fight.
Hopefully he's motivated because that's been my biggest criticism with him. He just doesn't take every fight serious. So hopefully he does. Obviously, Sabril Matisse, he did come off a loss, right? He's coming off a loss, right? So
Yeah.
obviously he is talented, but he does have some weaknesses to his game.
Mhm.
So hopefully Tiafimo, he can go at knock this out, and then you never know. Maybe that Tank and Tiafimo fight can come down in the fall. You know what I mean? Obviously, they're both fighting around the same time. Tank's fighting March 1st. Tiafimo's fighting a couple weeks after. So maybe they're setting up for that situation with them fighting so close. So we'll see. I would hope we get that fight. That's one of the fights I really hope that we get, because I think we'll get the best out of Tiafimo
Yeah,
and
of
Tank,
course.
honestly.
Yeah, of course. All right, man. Let's do our Bet US Surefire picks.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. What you got?
All right, man. So I did a solid 3 today. So I went with the 76ers -6 with the Spurs. I think they've been playing better ball. I expect Joel Embiid and Paul George to play in this game, so I have them winning, taking that. I got the Hawks +3.5 over the Wolves. I just like this matchup with the Hawks. I think the Hawks just match up well with the Timberwolves. Timberwolves have not been playing well. Julius Randle has just been kind of like absent in his offense, and Anthony Edwards is kind of fitting for himself. So I got the Hawks. And then for tonight, NFL game, I got the Packers -9.5 in the first half. I wasn't really a fan of the 14, but I did really like that -9.5. I can easily see this team winning 10 points at halftime against this New Orleans Saints team with a rookie quarterback, man. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Packers with the points in the first half.
Man, it's gonna be a smoking session. Give me the 14, man. Give me the 14. It's gonna be a.
But I'm just saying, like, they could be up so much that the Saints start scoring bullshit ass points, and next thing you know, they only win by like 12.
Yeah, that's true.
10 or 12.
I'm still rolling the dice.
I ain't mad.
They in Green Bay. It's cold outside. No Alvin Kamara. Yeah,
this should be like a 42 to 3 game.
Spencer Rattler. Nah. Rookie going into Green Bay.
Nah, that's bad news, man.
It's about to be a smoking session, dog. So yeah, give me the -14 and give me the over on Jordan Love touchdowns and the over on Josh Jacob touchdowns.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. If you go to our social media platform, you'll see the link for the Bet US website. Click on it. This is first time users only. Click on it. Sign up. Put your information in, all that good stuff. And in the promo section, you put join 125. You get 125% signing bonus plus 10% gambler's insurance, because they got other things on there that you can participate in on their website. And when you do the 125% signing bonus, you get 3 risk-free bets on your first 3 deposits. What does that mean, Chris? That means that if you deposit $100 3 times on bets and you lose, you keep your money. You don't even lose it. So why not go to Bet US and sign up and bet 3 times for free? You could possibly win you some money, and if you don't, you keep your money. So shout out to Bet US. Go over there, sign up, make some money. Tell Cris and Mal sent you.
Yes, sir.
And that is our Bet US Surefire picks. All right, man. We had a big showdown on Saturday. Also, a big college women's basketball showdown. UConn versus USC. That is Paige Becker versus Juju Watkins. SC ended up winning 72-70. In the beginning, USC, they had a big lead. They had a little bit of a lead on them, but UConn ended up pulling back. But at the end of the day, USC held on. Juju, she had a good day, 25 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Uh, Also, Kiki Efron, she had 16 points herself. And then on the other side, Beckers had 22, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. Strong, she had 22 points also to add to that, but she had 13 rebounds. It was a close game, but Juju and them ended up pulling it out at the end. And
Mhm.
hey, man, this is a matchup that we'll probably be looking forward to in the tournament for sure. Juju, and, shout out to First Take. They made reference to Juju needs to be talked about in the same light as Caitlin Clark, which is true. That woman, and I agree with what Stephen A said, that her game is so polished that she could play defense, she could shoot inside and out. She can, she could handle the rock. She could, take it on the inside. Like she's just a good all around player,
Yeah.
and she's only going to get better. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I know they said they was trying to, you know, make the rule to where women's basketball can go earlier than having to wait to their, I think, their junior year to go to college.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, I just, it was a great game, and shout out to those ladies for putting on for women's college basketball.
No, it was a great game. You saw the early dominance with USC. I kind of think that they're a bigger team, but they match up well. I think UConn kind of matches up well. I just think Juju's like, look, I love Paige. I think Paige is a great player, but I just think Juju's just a better player. When it comes down to this matchup, I'm just gonna pick Juju over Paige in the sense of that she's just a bigger player. She's really polished. So is Paige. Paige is really polished too. But just that matchup alone with that size, Juju's just gonna dominate that spot. So, but I won't be surprised if we saw this in the tournament again, and I won't be surprised if UConn won against USC either. But Juju is a once in a lifetime talent. Me and you have been kind of saying what First Take finally wanted to say. I think they're a year too late, but
Hmm.
I'm glad they're finally starting to get on board. That Juju needs to be talked about in the same light as a Caitlin Clark. She was amazing last year as a freshman. Um, she's doing things that we have not seen before, and she's only going to get better. So she will be the true WNBA prospect that I think will definitely change the landscape of the WNBA. I really truly do believe that. So I just think this game was a testament unto how well the women's college game is right now. Obviously, you got other great teams like South Carolina, UCLA, Notre Dame that they're just balling out. And shout out to old girl. I don't know what her name is with the goggles, but she did a dirty ass move. And praise out to old girl. Looked like she tore her ACL on that play too. But
Cool.
yeah, it was a game. Notre Dame played a game, and I don't know one of the shorties with the goggles. I don't know her name. I'll get her name. I do
The
apologize.
point guard, the
I
starting
think
point
she's a
guard.
point guard or shooting guard. She did this kind of like crossover behind the back move that old girl she planted her leg and she ended up look like tearing her ACL. Nasty move, but unfortunately old girl had to get
Probably
hurt.
talking about Olivia Miles. Dang, she tore her ACL.
Yeah,
I think
not
she
the
got
girl
it.
from Notre Dame, not the girl from Notre Dame, the girl that was defending her.
Oh, okay. I was
Girl
like,
that was
dang.
defending her, not her. No, she's good. She tore old girl's knee up by doing that move. It was nasty, really
Yeah,
good. But I felt bad for old girl because she was screaming in pain. So I felt bad for her. But man, it's just a lot of talent in college women's basketball. So I said this was just a great show of what this sport has become and how much better it's going to be, and the talent that the WNBA is gonna get adding on with Caitlin Clark and Asia Wilson and all these other young ladies that are in the game today.
yeah, for sure, for sure. We got a big matchup coming up soon too with LSU and South Carolina, so that should be a good matchup too.
Yeah, yeah. Always looking forward to those matchups, man. Those always go down to the wire for sure.
For sure, for sure.
Not really a strong favorite though. There's a lot of teams that can win the national championship.
Oh yeah, no, this is an even playing field
Yeah,
this
it
year
really
for
is.
sure, for sure. Because you're not really hearing a lot from South Carolina this year. Last year it was all about South Carolina, and
Yeah, I think they're a pretty young team though this year. I think.
Yeah, they got talent.
They do got talent. Yeah.
All right, man. So I figured, with the spirit of Christmas coming up,
Mm-hmm.
that me and you have a little fun right now, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I know you was heated earlier.
Yeah, I'm
That's why I
good. I'm
wanted.
good. I'm good.
That's why I wanted to push this to the back so I can calm you down a little
I
bit.
appreciate that, brother. Yeah,
You know what
appreciate
I'm saying? We got a little Christmas movie bracket that I want us to pull up because I want to see where your mindset on some of these
that. Okay.
matchups.
Okay. I'm with it.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
So I'm gonna pull this up real quick. And then I'm gonna, get us in the Christmas mood. I gotta play some music,
Yeah, man.
man. It's a little jazzed up, you know what I'm saying? But it's Christmas music, nevertheless. All right. What is the best Christmas movie?
The best Christmas movie.
We got Home Alone versus Night Before. We got Polar Express versus The Grinch. We got Bad Santa versus Office Christmas Party. We got It's a Wonderful Life versus Scrooged. We got Elf versus Four Christmases. We have a Charlie Brown Christmas versus Jingle All the Way. We got Christmas Vacation versus Fred Claus. And we got the Santa Claus versus The Christmas Story. So where you want to start? You want to start on the left? You want to start left side and then go to the right, or do you want to go across, top, middle? All the way down.
We can start at 1 verse 16. I will say some of the rankings in this, the rate, I'm a little off. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, I wish they would have switched some of the stuff. But overall, where's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation? Where's that at?
That's it right there. Number 3.
Christmas Vacation. Oh, I didn't see it. My bad. Sorry, guys. I was getting a little worried. I was like, yo, how we not have that in there? All right, we're good. All right, yeah. Let's do let's start at 1 and 16. Who you got?
I mean, come on, man. This doesn't even have to be discussed. Yeah. I liked The Night Before. It was a good movie. Yeah. But Home Alone's a cult classic, dog. What we doing?
I'm surprised you didn't I'm surprised Home Alone 2 ain't here because a lot of people
might exactly. True.
Yeah, that's another conversation we can have for sure. Yeah, but I agree with you. I love Seth Rogen movies. I really do. Night Before was cool, but come on, Home Alone is an all-time classic. It's gonna be tough to beat out. So I'm going with Home Alone as well.
All right, we can go down to 8 against 9. The Polar Express versus the Grinch. Look, all respect due to Polar Express, but it ain't touching the Grinch. This isn't even close. Jim Carrey was the greatest Grinch of all time. So we're not even doing this.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I think this is this 8-9 matchup is not a good 8-9 matchup. 8-9 matchup is a little bit closer, a little bit hard. I love the Grinch easily defeats.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I watched like a little bit of the Polar Express. Wasn't my kind of thing. Yeah. I'm more of the Grinch style. So yeah, Grinch winning.
We have Bad Santa versus Office Christmas Party. I think I saw Office Christmas Party one time.
Yeah,
but it wasn't better than Bad Santa.
Nah, man. Rest in peace to Bernie Mac, man. Bad Santa was an all-time great. Love that movie. I watched that several times. So yeah, Bad Santa's beating out Office Christmas Party. Sorry.
You have the cult classic It's a Wonderful Life versus one of my personal favorite movies, Scrooged. I'm rolling with Scrooge because that's one of my favorite Christmas movies. And The Wonderful Life, whatever. That's for you old school folks out there that grew up in that time. That's not my type of movie, but Scrooge was my shit.
It's a Wonderful Life is an all-time classic Christmas movie. I've seen it several times. But Bill Murray, man, how can you not like Bill Murray? Bill Murray's like all time, bro. He's GOAT. He's legend status, especially in our community, man. We all love Bill Murray, man. So,
of course.
I'm gonna go with the upset in this bracket. Some people might have it other way, but I'm gonna go with Scrooge as well. I agree with you. It's a Wonderful Life. It's close though. It's a Wonderful Life is an all-time classic Christmas movie, but I gotta go with Scrooge as well.
Then we got 2 and 15. We got Elf versus Four Christmases. Now look, I love Will Ferrell. but I was not a big fan of the Elf. That's just not one of my favorite movies by him. I like Four Christmases. I thought
That's
Four
why I was
Christmases
surprised this was that too. That's why I was surprised this is that too.
Yeah, I think Four Christmases is better than the Elf. I'm rolling with Four Christmases.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never seen Four Christmases.
It's actually a good movie. You should. I think you would like it.
I've never seen it, so due to that fact alone, I'm gonna go with Elf. I wasn't the biggest fan of Elf, but you know, I'm gonna roll with that. So I'll this will be the first time we differ on opinions. So I'm gonna go with Elf
for sure. And we got the classic, A Charlie Brown Christmas. Now, if you were a kid growing up in my time, you knew A Charlie Brown Christmas was a classic.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So. But then you got Jingle All the Way. Now this one was kind of a classic too.
This is my favorite Christmas movie. Next to Home Alone 2.
So this one is a little one. They got me on this one. This was tough. This was tough on your boy.
Yeah.
You know,
and these two should be rated a lot higher to me. These two should be a lot higher.
They do. They should be rated higher. They should be in probably the 3.
This should not be the matchup first round.
Y'all messed up on this. Why y'all put these two movies against each other first and foremost? But you did it because you knew what you was doing.
Yeah, they assholes, dog. Yeah.
But I'm rolling with Turbo Man, dog. I'm rolling with Turbo Man. I'm going with Jingles All the Way.
Man. This is tough, man. I love both of these, man. I remember watching Charlie Brown Christmas, man. It really got me in the Christmas spirit, man. Even the Thanksgiving Charlie Brown's just ultimate classics. Snoopy, Charlie Brown, all those guys, man. The cast of characters, bro. Love them. Jingle All the Way was my shit, bro. I've watched that 100 times. Sinbad
in his element. Sinbad in his element, dog.
Yeah. Shout out to Sinbad. I know he's going through some things right now, but prayers out to him, man. You know, you're one of the top comedians back in the day for sure. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, man. You know what I mean? Like, damn, this is tough, man. Because you're disrespecting both of these. This is disrespectful.
You are. It is disrespectful. I feel bad by doing this. People gonna kill me.
Both of these movies should easily make it into the semifinals. Easy. You could easily have both of these making into the championship round. You could. But Jingle All the Way was my shit, man. I'm gonna go with Jingle All the Way reluctantly because Charlie Brown Christmas should make it further than the first round. This is disrespectful. Whoever made this list deserves to get coal in there. Get coal. Sorry. This is crazy. Sorry, Charlie. I love y'all. I really do love y'all.
I do, man.
Y'all love y'all, but
they did this, not us.
Legit.
Then we got the cult classic National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and Fred Claus. Look, I like Fred Claus. It was a good movie, but it's not touching Christmas Vacation. That is a classic, right? Chevy Chase, man, back in the day, man. This movie is a cult classic. I'm going with Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, 100% Christmas Vacation. Sorry, Fred Claus, but no go. Christmas Vacation slaughters.
Then we got the Santa Claus with Tim Allen, and we got A Christmas Story, which plays on TNT 24/7 every Christmas. Mm-hmm. We all grew up on both of these movies pretty much. Yeah. But I'm going with Santa Claus, man. Tim Allen as Santa Claus was one of my favorite Christmas movies. I love Christmas Story, but how can you not love it when they played it 100 million times a day?
Yeah.
They beat it into you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? After the second time, it's like, all right, man, I don't want something else.
Yeah.
But give me the Santa Claus, dog.
I think we do need to have some nostalgia making into the next round. So I'm gonna give it to the Christmas Story. I'm gonna give it to A Christmas Story. I'm not a fan of this little kid. This little kid annoyed me a little bit, but I'm gonna give it to A Christmas Story. I think we have to respect the legendary Christmas movies that started it all off. We've already disrespected Charlie Brown. We've already disrespected It's a Wonderful Life. I'm gonna give it to the Christmas Stories. We got to have some nostalgia in there for sure.
So then the next round, you have The Grinch versus Home Alone.
Tough.
You got Jim Carrey versus a young Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
You know, this is tough for me. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's tough, but I'm gonna go with The Grinch because I think Home Alone 2 was the best Home Alone for me. I really do. I love the impact of Home Alone 1. I'm gonna go with The Grinch, man. I think we're disrespecting Alone by not having a Home Alone 2 in this. For real. I don't know if they just kind of had, you only can pick one Home Alone movie.
Probably.
Go with The Grinch, man. I'm gonna go with The Grinch. I'm gonna go with the upset.
gonna go with the Grinch too, man. Because I agree with you. Home Alone 2 was the better movie. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Grinch.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey edges out Macaulay Culkin.
They did it to themselves, man. You should have had Home Alone 2 in there. You should have had Home Alone and Home Alone 2 in there. There's a lot of other movies. Where's Friday After Next at? Where's Friday at? Next Friday. Where that at? Come on, man. Where the hood Christmas movies at?
Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about this Christmas. Yeah, whatever.
Oh man.
Then we got Bad Santa versus Scrooged.
Yeah.
Now look, I like Bad Santa. But like I said, Scrooge, I grew up on Scrooge. Yeah. I can watch Scrooge right now 100 times. I know Scrooge line for line. I know all the scenes. I'm rolling with Scrooge, man.
I agree with you. I'm gonna go with Scrooge here as well. Setting up an epic battle with the Grinch and Scrooge. Bill Murray, I said he's an all-time classic. So Bad Santa was good, but yeah, I'm gonna roll with Bill Murray in this one.
Now see, this is where we're gonna have a little difference. So I'm gonna let you go first with the Jingle All the Way versus Elf on your bracket.
Oh, Jingle All the Way. Jingle All the Way. Come on, man. This is a smoke session. Smoke session. This is Tennessee versus Ohio State. It ain't happening, bro. Smoke session.
I mean, we pretty much
first quarter.
We pretty much feel the same way because it's smoking session on 4 Christmases too. so far we got the Grinch, we got Scrooge, we got Jingle All the Way. Now here's the last one. We got Christmas Vacation. Well, you got Christmas Vacation versus The Christmas Story. So where are you going?
Oh, Christmas Vacation. Sorry, guys. Nah, little kid got to go, bro. Sorry. Christmas Vacation is an all-time classic. I love that movie. I was actually watching it just the other day. Love it. Yeah, Christmas Vacation. Heavyweight bout, man. Heavyweight bout. This is Oregon, Ohio State coming up for me.
They got Christmas Vacations versus the Santa Claus. And look, I love the Santa Claus. This was actually pretty close to me. But I'm gonna go with Christmas Vacation. Christmas Vacation. I got to put the cult classic in there. So our final 4 is pretty much the same. The Grinch, Scrooge, Jingle All the Way, and Christmas Vacation. So the Grinch versus Scrooge. What you got, man?
This is tough, bro. This is tough. I agree with you. Scrooge is amazing. So is the Grinch. The Grinch is such an iconic character to the Christmas Story. It really is. I'm gonna go with the Grinch, man. I'm gonna go with the Grinch over Scrooge, man. I think the Grinch deserves it to make it to the championship.
I agree with you. The Grinch is very iconic. Like I said, Jim Carrey, he embodied this role.
Yeah.
But I gotta go with Bill Murray on this one.
I feel you. I ain't mad. I'm not mad.
I gotta go with Bill, man.
Yeah,
the role that he played, the characters in here, it was a great movie, though.
Yeah,
great movie. Good spin on the Scrooge story, and yeah, man, I got Scrooge in my finals.
Yeah.
And then we got Jingle All the Way. Is it Jingle All the Way?
Yeah, Jingle
All the Way versus A Christmas Vacation. What do you got, player?
Man, this is tough, bro. I don't know, bro. I really want to call this a draw and have them just go 2 versus 1 against the Grinch at this point. This is tough, man. Jingle All the Way is like one of my favorites. Just Sinbad, just that whole story of him, trying to get Turbo Man, him becoming Turbo Man. Just that whole kind of storyline. Christmas Vacation is just the ultimate classic. I think I'm gonna go with Christmas Vacation. Chevy Chase is such an iconic movie. They have so many National Lampoon movies that are just top tier. That movie was hilarious. So is Jingle All the Way. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Christmas Vacation. Sadly,
I'm going to agree with you, sir. I'm rolling with Christmas Vacation too. So I got Christmas Vacation versus Scrooge. You got Christmas Vacation versus the Grinch.
Yeah.
What is in this bracket the best Christmas movie to you?
The winner and the champion of this bracket goes to Christmas Vacation. Goes to Chevy Chase. Christmas Vacation. I have that over the Grinch. Grinch was amazing, but Christmas Vacation will always have a special place in my heart. Jingle All the Way would be the Grinch for me too, if I would have put it in that spot as well. But Christmas Vacation, that is my championship movie, especially if you don't have Home Alone 2 in this.
And I got the Scrooge versus Christmas Vacation. Bill Murray versus Chevy Chase. You know I love both of these movies. Great movies. But I'm going to go with the Scrooge, baby. I'm going with Scrooge. It's my best Christmas movie. Like I said, I can watch this movie right now 20 times.
Yeah, I feel you. You're going to go with your heart. So I respect it. I'm not mad. You can't be mad at any of those four.
Hey, man. There were some good movies on this list. You know what I'm saying?
Some that did not get on here, which I'm highly upset. Do you think Die Hard deserves to be in a Christmas movie conversation?
They had Christmas music. It was around Christmas time. Yes.
I agree. Should be on there. Friday movie should have been on there. It's just so many Christmas movies that should have been on here, but it is what it is.
Well, that was fun.
That was good, man. It's good. Got me in better spirits. Got me in the Christmas mood. Didn't feel like Christmas this year. I don't know why. I do got the Christmas tree in the back, but I don't know. Something about this year, I don't know. Seems kind of off.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, man. Let's go ahead and end this off with our Week 16 picks. Or actually, recap, should I say. Recap. Oh, yeah. All right. Pull this up. That on. All right, man. So we had the Thursday night game. We had the Broncos versus the Chargers. AFC West playoff implications in this. Chargers end up winning 34-27. The Broncos, they had an early lead, but they end up squandering that away. Chargers end up coming back. What's the name? The Broncos had what the hell was that? The Broncos had ample opportunity to come back in this game. Bo Nix hit missed a wide open Marvin Mims. He threw the ball too late, which would have, got him back in the lead of this game. But he missed on several throws, and they just shout out to Chargers, man. They just did enough to win the game, and their defense showed up when they needed to show up. And they end up winning 34-27, and I think they're locked into. I know they're locked into a playoff spot. I don't know if they're locked into that 5th spot, but they are locked into the playoffs.
Yeah, man. Just had you kind of saw the youth a little bit with the Broncos and Bo Nix a little bit. They were dominating this game in the first half, and then they just kind of let it go in the second. Chargers, shout out to them. Justin Herbert played a really good second half. Ladd McConkey was able to show out. Gus Edwards, he was able to play really good. This defense stepped up in the second half. Overall, man, both of these teams, I think, really have a good shot to make the playoffs. I think they're sitting in pretty good positions. Obviously, there are a couple teams that are kind of just, leering in the background, but it's going to be kind of tough for them these next 2 weeks. But hey, man, both of these teams are in good positions to make the playoffs. So, but it was a great win for the LA Chargers. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. We had 2 Saturday games. First, we had the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Houston Texans. The game was really close in the beginning. Tank Dell, he did suffer a season-ending injury as he caught a touchdown to keep the game close. But you could tell by the reaction of a lot of the players, CJ Stroud and a few of the other players, that this kind of mentally took them out of the second half, and they just weren't the same team. They came out a little bit more flat. Chiefs took advantage of that, and they won the game 27-19.
Yeah, definitely. Prayers out to Tank. pretty
Yeah, for
tough,
sure.
pretty tough moment to see. Second year in a row where he gets lost at the end of the year due to a devastating injury. He had to deal with the broken ankle injury last
Yeah.
year, and now this one. This one was a lot more scarier. Obviously,
Yeah.
they had to rush him to the hospital due to some arteries maybe being affected, but hopefully he'll be able to come back sometime next year. Prayers out to him, fast recovery. I agree with you though, man. Once that injury happened, you kind of saw that it just take all the air out of the Texans a little bit. You didn't see too much of passion out there on that field. Obviously, they were still out there trying to fight for their brother, but it was just too much for them. And then obviously losing another receiver to this offense kind of hurts them. I really believe they need to be in the Deontay Johnson sweepstakes. We're gonna find out, I think, here in a little bit where he goes. I know Adam Schefter was kind of talking about there were teams that put in waiver claims, so we should find out. Obviously, probably around now where he goes. So, prayers out to him. Texans, tough loss, and then obviously with the Chiefs, they are 14-1. Patrick Mahomes is out there giddied up and shit with ankle injury he got. But anyways, this team is tough, man. You're gonna have to beat this team. They're not gonna beat themselves. You're gonna have to go out there and take it. And these teams that are gonna make the playoffs, they can't be scared of this team. They got to go out there and take it from Mahomes and take it from Kelsey and take it from Andy Reid. This team is just a well-functioned team. Yeah, they're gonna get. Shit is going to happen with every team, but for the most part, this is a well-rounded team, and they're not going to beat themselves. You're going to have to rip it from them, and it's going to be in Arrowhead. So if you can do that, it's just going to mean this championship run is even more special for whoever can do that. Because right now, I'm not watching the Super Bowl. I'll tune in. Then once Kendrick come on, but I'm out after that. I'm about to just be on 2K all day.
You fool.
I'll just drink and eat and start talking to people.
Oh man! All right, you got the Baltimore Ravens and the Steelers. They end up beating the Steelers 34-17. I want to say it was late in the fourth quarter, or not early in the fourth quarter, shall I say? Derrick Henry had a big run that got him down to like the 3-yard line, but then Lamar Jackson throws a bad interception. But then Russell Wilson turns back around and throws an interception that was egregious to Marlon Humphrey for a pick 6, and that pretty much sealed their fate. They couldn't come back from that, and it was pretty much over from there. The Steelers are really, really being affected by not having George Pickens out there. They, just like you said about other teams needing Deontay Johnson, the Steelers need Deontay Johnson on the field with until George Pickens come back and they can have a tandem. It's not looking good for the Steelers as far as their offense goes, because they just can't move the ball down the field. Yeah. And as far as the Ravens go, they pretty much dominate this game. I thought they just look like the better team out there. Derrick Henry had a huge game, 24 carries, 162 yards. Flowers had 5 catches, 100 yards. And Lamar Jackson was just doing Lamar Jackson stuff. But, it was a good win for them. They still got to win out to win the division. So there's still some division implications in these last few games. But shout out to the Ravens, man. Good win for them. Yeah.
Big win. They needed this for their confidence, and obviously you don't want to lose this at home. Obviously this gives them a leg up for the division. They got them in playoff spots, which is good as well. But again, this is a team that I need to see this in the playoffs. I need to see this level of consistency. I need to see this Lamar Jackson. I need to see this Zay Flowers. I need to see this Derrick Henry in the playoffs. For the most part, man, this was an evenly matched game until probably that fourth quarter. For the most part, and obviously once Russell Wilson threw that bad pick, you can kind of tell the momentum was kind of on the Ravens side. But the Steelers, look, they're going to get George Pickens back. I saw reports that he's going to play for Christmas. They're getting a couple key players back on the defensive side as well. So I'm not really too worried about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin is always going to have them ready. They have a big game in a couple of days. Both of these teams are going to be playing on a short week, you know what I mean, including the Chiefs. You know what I mean, you got the Steelers playing the Chiefs on this Wednesday, and you got the Ravens playing the Texans. So, you know, we're going to see how these teams are affected on this short week. You know, we're going to see what kind of product that we're going to get on these football fields. I said, don't be surprised if these NBA games are a lot better than NFL games. Obviously, you're going to have Beyonce performing at, you know, for the Texans halftime show. So everybody's going to be excited to see, you know, her wobble and shaking and shit. But we're going to find out what quality games we're going to get on a really, really short. Because is this the first NFL game on a Wednesday?
Yes.
Ever?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm starting to get a little burnt out on football. It's too much football. Every goddamn day. I love football, but goddamn.
Yeah, for sure. The Falcons beat the Giants 34-7. Michael Penix debut. He was solid. I think he had one. I think he threw a touchdown. I know Pitts had a catch. I don't know if it was a touchdown, but he had a catch that he pretty much dropped or fumbled it into.
Dropped it into an interception.
Yeah.
Not looking good for my guy.
Ran it the other way, and then but you know, Bijan Robinson had a good day. 22 carries, 94 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Mooney had a solid day, and that Falcons defense had a really good game. Bates, I know he had an interception. I think the other safety had a interception. So Falcons showing up, looked like they had some extra juice to them, you know, with Michael Penix in the lineup. I know, shout out to Kirk Cousins. I saw him over there, you know, praying with Michael Penix before the game and, you know, giving him a pep talk. So he's being a good teammate about this. You know, I know he's getting paid, so it's not hard to, but I'm just saying he could pout, he could, you know, be like, I'm the veteran, whatever. But he's being a good teammate, and he's there for the young man. So shout out to that, man. Shout out to the Falcons for getting the win. They still have a chance to win this division with, you know, we'll talk about Tampa Bay later, but Falcons still are en route to win this division. They just got to win out.
Yeah, Michael Penix made this offense look what this offense was expected to look like. You know, Bijan Robinson had a really good game. This offense was moving up and down. Obviously, it was against the New York Giants. Yeah. Not really playing for much. They know how to lose. They know what they need to do, unlike certain teams that I discussed about earlier. But look, man, I think the Falcons have a nice track to win this division. You know,
they got a tough one. They got a tough one on Thursday. I think
they do got a tough one, but I think they can win that game. It's not out of the realm. I said Michael Penix does have this offense looking a lot better. Like if this was Kirk Cousins this past week, this might have been a struggle game to watch. This might have been a 10-9 game. So, but shout out to them. Like I said, there's not much to talk about with the Giants. I feel bad for Malik Neighbors, but you will get better, man. You're gonna get a top quarterback next year, whether it's Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. You're gonna turn into the next thing. So congratulations to the Giants on getting the number 1 pick. You guys are officially going to be that team. So
yeah, we got the Lions beating the Bears 34-17. Just, you know, Jahmyr Gibbs was the story. He balled out. You know, Jared Goff had a good game. They just destroyed the Bears. The Bears are a bad team. They're not good at all, and they're going to have to figure out some things in the offseason. But the Lions, you know, they needed this win, and it was a good win for them to get their mindset right. You know, they still got pieces on this offense, you know, even with the Montgomery injury going down. You still got Gibbs out there. You're just giving him the rock more, really. And he's going to do special things with it. J-Mo had a really good game. You still got St. Brown. You still got Laporta. That play that they did where they stole from Green Bay.
Oh, the fake fumble? Yeah, no, yeah. That was fire.
That was a good-ass play right there. So, they, you know, one thing the Lions going to do is they're going to clown on some bad teams. Yeah. But shout out to the Lions, man. That was a good win for them. They needed that.
Yeah, man. Look, Caleb Williams didn't play a bad game. He did have, you know, he was 26-40. He threw over 300 yards. He had 2 TDs. The team just has some holes. Obviously, this offensive line needs to be fixed. I think that should be the number 1 thing they look in this draft. They don't need ancillary pieces like a wide receiver. They need to beef up this offensive line and protect Caleb Williams. That's the number 1 thing that they need to do. As far as the Detroit Lions, man, great win. Obviously, it was against a tough opponent, but you know, with all the injuries that has been going on, it was very impressive. They got some great news with David Montgomery. It seems like the knee injury isn't as bad as they thought it was, so it seems like he's going to be able to play. their first playoff game when they come back. So that's great news for them. You're starting to hear more rumors about other players potentially coming back. So, your boy, what's my man's name? Nick Wright. He was talking about the Chiefs and being the only team that can survive injuries. You need to start putting respect on this Detroit Lions team because that's the exact same thing that they've been doing. So he was kind of talking down on them, but he needs to realize the Chiefs aren't the only team that can overcome shit. So, and the Detroit Lions are proving this every day. And now, obviously, with the situation, which I know we're going to talk about here with the Philadelphia Eagles, they have a line track to get the number 1 seed, and they're going to have a bye week off to help get these players healthy. And let's say if they can get 20% back of what they lost, the Detroit Lions are going to be one of the favorites coming out of the NFC. This team is really, really good. And you get David Montgomery back and everybody else can remain healthy. We saw the talent Jameson Williams is. We see Amon-Ra St. Brown and Laporta and this offensive line. And this defense can fly around once they get a lead. So this is going to be a real good team. And I think this is one of the teams that the Chiefs would, they want to make it easier for them to win a three-peat. This is one of the teams that they don't want to see, especially in the Super Bowl where they potentially could get Aiden Hutchinson if it's possible. You know what I mean? You could add him, not saying he's going to be playing every down, every single play, but, pockets here and there if he can play and make a key sack here and there could be really, really huge for them winning the Super Bowl. So I think this is one of the teams that the Chiefs should worry about.
For sure. You got the Cincinnati Bengals beating the Browns 24-6. Another day at the office for Joe Burrow, 3 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, 6 catches, 97 yards. Chase Brown, I think he had a good game too. This offense, they're going to continue to roll. Browns are not good right now. They're on to their 3rd string quarterback. They did what they were supposed to do. And I still don't think they'll make it, but this week they have an interesting matchup because they do face the team that they can knock out and get into the playoffs. They got to win their last 2 games, but the Bengals face the Broncos this week, and if they beat the Broncos, they have a track. If they win their last game and the Broncos lose their last game, which they face the Chiefs now, we'll see how it happens on Wednesday. If Kansas City beats the Steelers, they lock up the 1 seed, and it's a possibility they probably be resting their players in week 18. But if not, if they lose to the Steelers, then they're going to be playing their starters on week 18 to try to get that bye week. So, so the Bengals, they just got to win out. They got to win out, and they got to hope that the Broncos lose one of these games so they can get in. So, lose both of these games, actually. Lose them both. So,
no, sorry to cut you off. No, I agree. Like, obviously, there's not really much to talk about the Browns. They're in a kind of disarray situation. They gotta figure out what they want to do. Obviously, it's not much they can do with Deshaun Watson, but it's going to be interesting whether they're going to be kind of in the quarterback sweepstakes on whether they want to kind of prepare themselves to get ready for that. Because we don't know when Deshaun Watson is going to be able to come back with that Achilles injury, so we got to see about that. So, but as far as the Bengals, look, offensively, this is a scary team to play against. You know what I mean? Defensively, it's not. Obviously, defensively, they have been playing a little bit better. We can't really say too much with the Cleveland Browns, but they have been playing a little bit better. I'll do give them that. But this is a scary offense that you don't want to play against. Joe Burrow's not in fear of nobody. Jamar Chase has literally been the best wide receiver in the league. He's going to command over $40 million as a receiver. It's going to be scary money. And you got T. Higgins, who's out there trying to play for a new contract as well. So, and then Brown has been one of the better top 10 running backs in this league, probably even top 5, low key, the way he's been playing. So this is a scary offense that you don't want to see. Like, you kind of hinted at it. Maybe the Bengals might be that team that goes into Buffalo, and we've seen the Bengals go into Buffalo and beat them. So everybody's probably hoping that the Chiefs probably win this week and sit all their players out so the Broncos can win. Yeah. But look, if the Pittsburgh Steelers win on Wednesday, I think the Bengals got a really good shot at making the playoffs, man. I think they will.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. I ain't saying he should win it, but if they do make the playoffs, do you think Joe Burrow should get MVP votes?
It all depends on how the Bills finish off. If the Bills are contending for a number 1 seed, and let's say they do get it, then no. But if the Bills struggle down here these last couple weeks, and we kind of saw slow Josh Allen, something's going on with his hand, elbow. I don't know what was going on with him. I think there's a possibility. Joe Burrow. Look, if the Bengals were winning, let's say they had a record like, I don't know, maybe let's say they had a record, obviously like the Broncos or Detroit or something. Joe Burrow will easily be the MVP of this year. He easily would. But with their record, it'll be very impressive if, coming off what they're like 0-3, 0-4, start the season, something like that. And then to make the playoffs in a tough AFC, you got to give him some votes for sure. Now, will he win it? I don't know. I think that still be Josh Allen's to win, but I think you can see him
for sure. The Tennessee Titans lose to the Indianapolis Colts 38-30. For the most part, the Colts had dominated the second and third quarter, but then in that last quarter, Tennessee started coming back, but the Colts held them off. Jonathan Taylor had a great game, 29 carries, 218 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He is their offense. If you shut him down, then they can't really move the ball. But if he gets going, then it's hard to stop them. So they still have playoff implications too. I think they're right now. They're the 8th seed. they're on the outside looking in. So if a few teams slip up, or at least the Broncos slip up, they have the inside track too to get that 7th seed. So they're still playing for something. Do I think they get it? No, but they're still playing for something. That's the other team that the Bengals need to lose. They need the Colts to lose. So
yeah, I look like Jonathan Taylor looked amazing. We finally seen like he looked like the old Jonathan Taylor. But nobody's trying to see this Colts team at the playoffs, respectfully, dog. No one wants to see that. No one wants to see that, bro. Sorry. I would rather see the Bengals. It'll just be a more entertaining thing, if anybody. I'd rather see the Bengals or the Broncos. They got way better quarterback situations right now. Anthony Richardson's still struggling throwing the football. They still do idiotic turnovers. This defense has been inconsistent, to say the best. They should have blew out this Tennessee Titans team, but they struggled with that. So no one wants to see them, respectfully. I don't. So good luck to them.
Yeah, for sure. The Rams beat the Jets 19-9. This was a defensive struggle. That cold weather was full effect. But at the end, in the fourth quarter, the Rams pulled it out, ended up winning this game 19-9. Aaron Rodgers had a decent game, but Kyra Williams also had a good game, 23 carries, 122 yards, and a touchdown. I know Garrett Wilson was complaining about not getting the ball, but same old Jets, no inspiration, no nothing into them, and the Rams looks like they're gonna win this division, the NFC West. So
yeah, this Rams team has always been scary. Obviously, this defense has been playing really good. But I think the biggest news coming out of this game, minus the Rams winning, is the Garrett Wilson effect. You see the frustration through his face. You see he's not really too pleased that Devontae Adams becoming the true number one, even though it's like we all kind of knew this was going to happen. Like Aaron Rodgers has been begging Devontae Adams to come through. So you wouldn't beg your former number one wide receiver to come all the way from Vegas to New York just for him to be the number two. But it does spit in the face of Garrett Wilson to a degree, because he's been the true number one. He's supposed to be the one of the faces of your franchise moving forward. I hope Garrett Wilson gets out of there. He does not deserve to be in that organization. I would love him to be in our organization, but at this point, our organization don't even know what the hell they're doing. So I wouldn't want him to even suffer with us. So I hope he finds a better situation. And then on top of that, too, you don't know who's going to be the quarterback of that team. Right. It could be Aaron Rodgers again. It could be maybe they might go after Sam Darnold, depending on what the Vikings want to do with that situation. Or maybe they might consider trading JJ McCarthy. I don't know. You know what I mean? You never know. But I think he needs to get out of there. I would love to see him maybe link up with like a Jaden Daniels, pair him with Terry McLaurin. I think that would be amazing. But there are other spots out there. And I hate to say it, Denver Broncos, the LA Chargers. Yeah. I said I would love for him to be on the Raiders, but my team is pathetic and they don't even know what the hell they're doing. So there's better situations out there.
One of the games of the week, Eagles versus the Commanders. The Commanders end up pulling it out 36-33. Jaden Daniels was amazing once again. Saquon was too. Hurts ended up getting hurt in the first quarter. He had a concussion, so he was out for most of the game. But Kenny Pickett came in and stepped in pretty nicely. I mean, they really didn't skip a beat offensively. This game was lost off of the Devontae Smith drop in the red zone. He catches that pass, they probably win this game. But he dropped the pass and they ended up having to kick a field goal. And Jaden Daniels, he did throw a pick. They got the ball back like 3 minutes left. He threw a pick over the middle, and it looked like, and then that's when they marched down the field and Devontae Smith dropped that pass to make them kick a field goal. And then Commanders get the ball back and they march down the field and he hits who was that he threw the touchdown to? I forgot who he threw the touchdown to, but right in the back of the end zone, he threw it to him, and he ended up winning the game for him. 5 touchdown performance, and Jaden Daniels is, solidified as offensive rookie of the year. So, shout out to Jaden Daniels. They look like they're already locked into the playoffs. They could have a chance to win this division too. Eagles have I forgot who they play next, but I know they play the Cowboys at the end of the season. So we'll see how that works out.
Let me ask you a question. What storyline affects the perception of the team more? You turning the ball over 5 times and winning this game with a rookie quarterback, or you winning the turnover battle, dominating 3/4 of this game, and you still find a way to lose? What do you think storyline affects the perception of the team more to you?
Probably the latter one, the later one.
The Eagles situation.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that make you a little worried about this team? Like, I get it. They didn't have Jalen Hurts. He's going through concussion protocol. Hopefully he's able to get through it. But I don't know, man. That should worry you a little bit. Obviously, like with the Commanders, they got to clean up the turnover game. They're not going to be able to win a playoff game playing like this. Jaden Daniels is not going to be able to just throw 5 TDs like this. Obviously, he's a very, very talented young quarterback, and they do have talent on that team, but they got to play a clean football game going into the playoffs. Now, I'm not saying it's the end all be all by that storyline. Obviously, the Eagles are, I still think the Eagles are a better team than the Commanders.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think if Jalen Hurts was healthy, I think this team probably wins against the Commanders.
Yeah.
But we never know. But I think it just says something a little bit. Like, you just got to be like, that's something you got to keep your eye out.
Well, there were certain instances on this game, like there was a 4th and 1 that the Eagles was looking at. And of course, you have Kenny Pickett out there, so you got to punt the football. But we all very well know on 4th and 1, they would have gave the ball to Jalen Hurts, and the drive would have kept going. So
the question is now, with this head injury, with this concussion injury, are they going to play it safe a little bit more with that? Because I get in the playoffs, everything is necessary. You're going to do whatever it takes, but if that could jeopardize, all it takes is one more hit for him to get in a concussion protocol, and then you got to start asking, like, is this going to be a consistent problem? Like, because he's always putting his body in harm's way. And if you saw the video, he looked off. It was honestly a great call by the referees to get him out of the game.
Yeah.
But with that, if you're the head coach, would that consider you a pause to use it so much? Like, instead of using it every 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1, maybe you'll save that on bigger plays, especially in the playoffs. Or would you just say, fuck it, like, it's the playoffs, I don't care if it's 3rd and 1 on our 40. We're Jalen Hurts, put your head down there and get the yard.
Well, was taken into consideration that the concussion came on him, running out of the pocket, and instead of him giving his body up, he trying to get an extra few yards and got hit, and that's just gonna happen. Like, that's football, unfortunately.
But to cut you off, though, we know the moment you have your first concussion, it's a lot easier to get your second, your third, your fourth, and the fifth.
I mean, you probably play it a little safe, but knowing Jalen Hurts, he's gonna call his number. Yeah. He's just that type of competitor. So I don't know how they'll stop him from doing it, but
that's Saquon Barkley back there. If he can't get you 1 yard, that's a problem.
That's
because this is the same instance I say with the Buffalo Bills. You keep putting your quarterback in harm's way. Those licks are just going to keep adding up, and when you get closer to the playoffs, they're not going to perform to the same level. Like, you have these great elite running backs behind these quarterbacks. Why do you not use them? If Saquon Barkley can't get you 1 yard, I think that says a lot about Saquon Barkley and this team. Like, you have a decent offensive line. You have the best running back in this. You don't always have to put your quarterback in harm's way to get 1 yard. Like, I get it in goal line situations when you're about to get the touchdown, but you ain't got to do it on the 40, the 30, the 20. Like, save your quarterback, because we saw it. The moment Jalen Hurts go out, this is a totally different team. Now, God bless Kenny Pickett. He was able to still get this offense moving. He was still able to get A.J. Green and Devontae Smith the ball, and unfortunately, Devontae Smith had a terrible, terrible drop. But we even see it with Kenny Pickett. He's not the most sturdy guy. He already is having rib problems, and he
I knew
played 3 quarters. So you cannot have Jalen Hurts missing out, because you're going to waste your season because you keep using him so much. Use him in key moments. Like, your team is too talented and too deep to always use him on a 4th and 1. I get it. It's solid goal, but Saquon Barkley can do the same thing. Like, it shouldn't be too hard.
Deontay Johnson was claimed by the Texans.
Yo, Deontay, get your act together, brother. CJ Stroud will get you the ball. If Deontay Johnson can show out and you got Nico Collins on, I'm telling you, the Texans could get a look, but it's going to take him a minute to get the groove. Obviously, he's going to have to play right away. I think he has to play on Wednesday. He has to.
You don't think he wants to not play on Wednesday?
No.
The Ravens.
I'm just not even if Tank Dell was hurt, Deontay Johnson needs to play. He needs to be ready. He needs to be clicking as best as he can going into play. Texans, good look. Deontay Johnson, don't fuck this up. This is your time to shine, my brother, because you're going to get all the playing time that you think you deserve. And CJ Stroud is the quarterback that will get you the ball if you get open. So if he can get his act together, I think the Texans are right back into maybe competing for a Super Bowl.
Yeah, for sure. The Carolina Panthers beat the Cardinals 36-30 in overtime. Ran a couple runs by Chuba Herbert, got him in the end zone, won the game. This was a good back and forth offensive game. But shout out to the Panthers, man. They finally got a dub in a close game. And man, you can just see the excitement in that crowd and on that team, man. But they got some things that they can look forward to going into the offseason, possibly build around Bryce Young, build around some of these young players, maybe get some more veterans up in there, and get this team right, man. Possibly get a playoff spot next year.
Oh yeah, this team can easily be competing for that division with how fluctuating that division is. Like, we all know Tampa Bay is probably the best talent-wise in the division, but they've been inconsistent. You got the Atlanta Falcons who've been inconsistent. Obviously, they're getting the Penix experience right now, so you expect them to get a lot better. He's a more precision passer. He's a lot younger. They're getting away from Kirk Cousins. The Saints, they're kind of in influx. We don't know the direction that they're going to go right now. But this Panthers team can easily win the division next year if they add the correct pieces to the team. I think Bryce Young has gotten over whatever mental problems he had understanding the NFL game. He's getting comfortable by the day. This offense is looking more explosive. I would love to see them re-sign Adam Thielen. I would love to see Adam Thielen come back and play with this team. Great signing with Chuba Hubbard, with the sad news of Jonathan Brooks having to deal with another knee injury. Hopefully he can come back and have a speedy recovery and have an impact on this team next year and stay healthy. You expect Xavier Legette to be a lot better, and work on him being able to hold on to the ball and not have, because like low key the Panthers could have maybe a couple more wins if some of these guys just hold on to the ball. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if they could stay a little bit more healthier. So I'm so happy for Bryce Young and this Panthers team. Outside of me being a fan of the Raiders, I'm rooting for this team to succeed because I want Bryce Young to succeed. And they got a lot of great young pieces, J.C. Horn and all those guys, man. I'm happy for that organization, man. We saw the excitement that this fan base can have with Cam Newton. We saw that fan base. We saw that could be a real like home field advantage out there. So I think it's good for that fan base, man. Congratulations to them, man. I'm rooting for them, man. I want Bryce Young to succeed. Yeah,
for sure. And as far as Arizona goes, man, I don't know where y'all go from here, man. Like, y'all was rolling in the beginning of the season, but it just seems like ever since that bye week, y'all have not looked right. I know, look, y'all almost had this game, but before this game, y'all did not look right. Y'all have not looked right. And so I don't know what's going on with Tyler. I don't know what's going on with this offense. I don't know if it's John. I don't want to say it's the head coach. I think the coach is actually good, Jonathan Gannon, but I don't know what else they need. I know they probably need some more offensive pieces like on the outside to go with Marvin Harrison Jr. But I still think, and maybe an elite pass rusher on the other side of the football. But other than that, I don't know what else to do with this Arizona team.
Look, man, this Arizona team is just weird. They have talent. Obviously, I think this defense still needs some additions onto it, but offensively, they shouldn't be having the struggles that they do. I think, obviously, yeah, you would love to see them have another receiver go alongside of Marvin Harrison Jr., but you have a really solid running game with James Conner and Benson. You have one of the best tight ends.
With no touchdowns.
With no touchdowns. I don't know what it is. Obviously, there is inconsistent play with Kyler Murray. I don't know if it's the play calling or what, but I don't know, man. Maybe it might be time for Kyler Murray for a change of scenery. I don't know. Maybe, you know what I mean? Yeah. At this point, my Raiders aren't going to get a young quarterback. Maybe Kyler Murray might be a good fit for the Raiders. You know what I mean? You got Brock Bowers. You have some young pieces there. Maybe, if we get Kyler Murray, maybe we could just go ahead and just get Austin Genty or something and add him to a lineup and, be a power game with Brock Bowers and him. So, and then have him in being our quarterback. I don't know. I'm trying to really justify. Fuck. I'm trying, bro. But this is not.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, man.
So, Minnesota Vikings pull out a 3-point win over the Seahawks, 27-24. Justin Jefferson is just amazing. Dude is he's the best in the league. Him and Jamar Chase are 1A, 1B to me. Yeah. And they just been balling out. Sam Darnold has looked good. Geno Smith wasn't bad in this game. It just, they just missed a few opportunities on the field. But shout out to the Vikings. They still have an opportunity to win the NFC North. I forgot who they played next. I think they played Bears next.
They played Bears and they finished the year off with the Detroit Lions.
That last game of the season is going to be the game of the week.
That's gonna be the Sunday night game. That's gonna be the game that finishes the week. That's gonna be the game that finishes the week. Especially if both teams win this weekend. Look, man. Look, I know we've been talking about the Minnesota Vikings being this 13-2 team that seems like, I don't know, something just ain't clicking. I apologize, man. This team is legit. This defense is legit. They got the and then they win the award for best touchdown celebrations for the whole year. So Aaron Jones has looked good. You got two of the best young receivers, Addison and Jefferson, Hawkinson. Sam Darnold is earning him a big time contract going into the offseason, whether it's going to be with the Vikings or another team. There's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks, so I won't be surprised.
My question is to the Vikings, GM is, how are you gonna tell Justin Jefferson, hey man, we ain't signing Sam Darnold back?
At this point, they have to sign him and potentially look at maybe trading JJ McCarthy. I know they've had a lot of hopes, but Sam Darnold just fits with this team. You can tell he's comfortable with this team. He has the weapons. They're 13-2. How much better can you get with JJ McCarthy? You can't. And Sam Darnold's not an old quarterback. He's still it was mid, late 20s, early 30s or something like that. So yeah. So it's not like he has an age problem. He has a better arm
because he came out the same year as Josh Allen.
Oh yeah, so
27.
He's 27 years old. Like, he has a better arm. He's more accurate. He's just as mobile as JJ McCarthy. He's a better version of JJ McCarthy. So why would you not re-sign Sam Darnold and be like, JJ, sorry, but we have teams that are desperate for quarterbacks. You could probably get a number one pick for JJ McCarthy just on him being a young talent. I don't know. We'll see. I said there's plenty of teams that need a quarterback. So I think that would be the smart move for them. And then they can use that number one pick or whatever pick, second round pick, whatever, to boost this team up even more. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a very talented team. I think that would be the smart decision to do, but we'll see in the offseason.
Yeah, and as far as the Seahawks go, I mean, they got talent that, they're getting the ball to Jackson Smith, the Jiggle boy. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just they leave opportunities. They leave opportunities on the field.
Here's my thing. I get Geno Smith didn't play a bad game, but how much better is Geno Smith going to make this team? Don't you sooner or later? Don't you need to be like, all right, we need to start thinking about the future? Like Geno Smith is an inconsistent quarterback. You know what the Seahawks are? An inconsistent team. So I get it. He'll have his occasion 300 yards, 3 TDs, but is he really going to take you to the next level that you need to do? Like I think at this particular time, I think the Seahawks need to potentially, maybe not next year, but start gearing up to look for another quarterback because the team is always, to me, always going to stay in that 10 to 8 wins with Geno Smith. It's always going to be like that.
Yeah. The Buffalo Bills beat the Patriots 24-21. It was looking kind of shaky in the beginning. The Patriots went up 14-0, but then James Cook had a long run to make it 14-7. And then the Bills, they pretty much took over that third quarter, scored 10 points. But then the Patriots, they tried to come back, but it was just a little bit too late. In that fourth quarter, kind of ran the clock out, had like several flags in the end zone, but they finally punched it in, but it was just a little bit too late, and the Bills ended up pulling it out at home. Josh Allen, he was okay in this game. I think Drake May actually had a little bit better game than him, but Josh Allen he did enough to win the game, and I know he had that one, they call it the throw punt. He threw it into the end zone. Dude picked it off, but he was stupid and got tackled at the one instead of just kneeling down in the end zone. But Patriots gonna do bad stuff. They're a bad team, but they got a bright future with Drake May. Though they do got a bright future with this kid. And the Bills, they still fight for that number 1 seed. So we'll see.
Yeah, man. You see the youth with this Patriots team, like being you like a lot of the pieces on the defensive side that we think play pretty well. Drake May, he's a talent. But James Cook was the savior of this game for the Buffalo Bills. They got to figure out this health situation with Josh Allen. This is kind of the same situation that they had to deal with last year, where his health kind of slowed him down a little bit. You want him staring at all directions. Without Josh Allen, this team is not winning anything. They'll get bounced out of the first round or whatever round they start out at. So they need to be mindful with Josh Allen. Now, I don't know if it's maybe send him out for a game. Obviously, they're still fighting for the number 1 seed, but obviously that can all be a wrap come Wednesday night. So, and then maybe you got to start making a hard decision on whether they win this week, and if it doesn't affect them, if they lose as far as seeding, maybe they sit him out next week and try to get him ready to go for the playoffs, because you need him at all costs for them to be able to finally get over the hump and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. We shall see. Look, I ain't gonna we already touched on your game already. I ain't gonna harp on that. All I want to say is shout out to Brian Thomas Jr. for getting 1,000 yards as a rookie.
Yeah, Raiders, hey. The reason why you tank is because you see Drake May, see what he's doing with the Patriots. You see the excitement that fan base has. Yeah, they may only won 3 games, but you see excitement. Jaden Daniels, you see the excitement. CJ Stroud, you see the excitement. I'm not gonna harper. I went off on my whole long tangent, but this was probably the most disappointed I've ever been in as being a Raider fan. I'm kind of just over it at this point. So it is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. The Dolphins beat the 49ers 29-17. Officially, the 49ers are knocked out of playoff contention, but we really didn't want to see this team in the playoffs anyway. This was a tight game, but in the fourth quarter, Brock Purdy threw a game-stealing interception and pretty much lost the game right there. And HN had a pretty good game. Brock Purdy was actually playing pretty solid, but he had that last interception that pretty much sealed the fate of the team. And yeah, man, 49ers have a lost season, and hopefully, they'll bounce back next year, I think. I know there's rumblings about Kyle Shanahan getting fired, but we shall see. And as far as the Dolphins go, I know there's rumblings about them getting rid of that GM. We'll see what they do with him, and maybe, the coach too. We'll see if they clean house, but, I know there's rumblings of getting rid of Tyreek Hill too. We'll see what happens on that end, but This team needs to reevaluate themselves in the offseason and see where they want to be, especially with Tua as your quarterback.
Yeah, these are two of the teams that are going to have the most. They're going to have the most interesting off seasons, for sure. That people need to keep an eye on. They have talent on this team. They need to figure out whether they want to blow this up or build it, whether they want to keep their coaches or not. 49ers, they need to figure out whether they want to play Brock Purdy or just move forward. Me and you have both kind of said, I think signing Brock Purdy to a long-term $50+ million deal, I think would just cripple this franchise. I don't think it's a smart move. The Dolphins, they need to figure out, Tua's kind of in the same boat. Like, I get they already signed him, but with those hand injuries and all that, they need to consider whether they need a true, strong backup quarterback and maybe look for the future. I get it, you just signed him, and obviously the whole Tyreek Hill thing, whether he wants to stay there or move on to another team, I just don't see both of these teams becoming relevant. Like, look, I know 49ers are talented, but they're getting old. Man. They're getting old. So is the Dolphins. The Dolphins are getting old. Jalen Ramsey's getting older. All these guys are getting older. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting for their off seasons.
Yeah, for sure. And then Sunday Night Football, we had the Cowboys beating the Buccaneers 26-24, which kind of sealed Buccaneers, fate to take claim of the AFC South. They still have a chance, but they need Atlanta to lose, I think, one of the games. Because if they win out, they win the division. And I think the Buccaneers will be knocked out of playoff contention, I think. The Cowboys are already knocked out, but they've been playing hard these past few games. I know a fumble sealed the fate of this game. I know Baker threw a bad pick too, but the Cowboys out there celebrating, even though they're not going anywhere. But they're trying to play hard for McCarthy, I guess, and they get another win, and they'll have an interesting offseason too. Buccaneers, we'll see where they go from here. I know they had some injuries, tough injuries, as far as Chris Godwin going down. That really hurt their offense, but we'll see.
This is a really disappointing loss for the Buccaneers. This team should not be losing to the Dallas Cowboys, especially against Cooper Rush. Yeah. But look, man, the Dallas Cowboys are playing hard. I think Mike pretty much sealed his return for the Dallas Cowboys. And honestly, he deserves it. I'm not gonna lie. He has his team playing really, really hard. Shout out to CeeDee Lamb playing on a bum shoulder and still putting on great performances. But this Bucs team, was very disappointing. I expected more from this team. I expected a better performance, but it's just, I don't know. They're not really heading in a good spot direction as far as like having a chance to make the playoffs. Not saying the homie should lose his job or if he's on the hot seat, but something to look out if they don't make the playoffs. But I think he does have enough excuses with injuries and stuff but I don't know. You still got Baker Mayfield, you still got Bucky Irving, you still got Mike Evans, man. This team should make the playoffs, man. Especially with a weak division that the NFC South is.
Yeah, for sure. And that does it for our recaps, man. Before we get out of here, before we do our, flowers and hell no of the week, I'm just gonna ask your opinion on a few games since we won't be here on Wednesday.
Okay.
Of course, we got the 2 Christmas games. We got the Chiefs and Steelers. That's gonna be the morning game, and then you got the Texans and Ravens. So we'll start with Chiefs and Steelers. Who you got winning?
I'll take the Chiefs, man. They haven't done anything otherwise. Obviously, should be an interesting matchup, but it gets to a point where I have to see it to believe it for a team to beat the Chiefs. So I'll just go with the Chiefs.
You know who I'm picking, so I ain't even gotta tell you. Ravens at Texans. Now we know the Deontay Johnson grudge game.
Mm-hmm.
Who you got?
I'm curious to see how much he plays. I know he will play in this game. I think he will play. I think he wants to play in this game. Just how much of this offense is he going to be able to understand as quick as possible? Probably a couple plays here and there. But I'm going to go with the Ravens. I just think right now they're just a better team. It could be different in a couple weeks, but I'm going to go with the Ravens.
Yeah, me too. I just think they're the better team right now, and they're rolling right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Ravens. Seahawks at Bears is the Thursday night game. I got the Seahawks in this game.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the Bears, man. I just think this is one of the games where it's like Caleb Williams has not played bad. The Seahawks have been really inconsistent. I think Jalen Johnson and Jackson Smith and Jigba will be a great matchup. I don't know. For some reason, I think the Bears are gonna surprise. It's in Chicago. I won't be surprised. I'm gonna go with the Bears. I'll go with upset. I'm gonna have fun.
Then we got three games on Saturday. We got the Chargers and Patriots. Chargers have been playing really good. It is in New England, so we'll see how the elements, feel on the game. Now the Chargers they're playing. I think that no, that game was in L.A., wasn't it? Um, I'm gonna roll with the Chargers. I just think they're the better team. I think that defense will do enough on Drake May. Get a couple turnovers, get some sacks, and I think Justin Herbert will do enough with that running game. I think they'll win the game.
Yeah.
It'll be a tight game, but I think they'll win.
If this was last year's Chargers with that coach they had last year, I would probably pick the Patriots because this seems like a perfect game that the Chargers would lose. But with Harbaugh, I'm going with the Chargers, man. I think the Chargers they'll be ready. They're trying to get a better playoff spot if they can. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
Then you got the Bengals and Broncos playoff implications are into this match. This is a big matchup. It is in Cincinnati, so that crowd is going to be hype. I'm rolling with Cincinnati. I just think that Joe Burrow's and them is on a mission. They want to try to push to make the playoffs, and what better way than to beat a team that is in their way? So I will pick the Bengals. I think they're going to beat the Broncos.
I agree with you. I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I think the bigger the show, the bigger Joe Burrow plays. Um, I think this will be a nice QB battle. I think Bo Nix would. I think I have a good game. I just don't think he has enough pieces, especially on the outside, to compete. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Chase Brown, man, that team is just stacked on the offensive side. Obviously, it'll be a great matchup with Patrick Surtain and Jamar Chase. Obviously, that's going to be a really good matchup to look out, but that's just going to leave T. Higgins open all day. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals, man. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game, but I'm gonna go with the win. The Bengals for the win.
Then we'll move to the couple of Sunday games. The Eagles do play the Cowboys. I know the Cowboys are out of playoff contention, but they can still play spoiler and help the Washington Commanders get that division. I don't anticipate Jalen Hurts to play, so we're probably going to get Kenny Pickett to start. But I still think the Eagles defense is still too good to let this Cowboys team coming into the Eagles. I think there's going to be heavily Saquon Barkley, and I think they win. I think they're the better team. They're going to pull the dub off against the Cowboys.
I'm gonna go with the Cowboys, man. Upset, bro. I'm going with the. I don't know, man. I think we're gonna get some weird shit this weekend. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys on the upset. I just have this feeling.
Then we got the Packers going to the Vikings. Now, this is going to be an interesting matchup too, because the Packers can knock down the Vikings from that top spot, and Detroit they're Packer fans this week.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
they want the Vikings to lose, so that last game really doesn't matter. But I'm gonna go with the Vikings. I'm gonna go with the Vikings. I think it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be tight contested, but I just think the Vikings are they're just rolling right now. Even though Packers are rolling too, but I think the Vikings are rolling, and they're at home. Their crowd's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna roll with the Vikings.
This is going to tell me a lot about the Vikings. I know I'm giving them props for what they've been accomplishing doing, but if they can win this game and go into Detroit, and we both assume that if they do win this game, Detroit wins this game, that it will be a Sunday night game. Um, the Vikings will be serious. You never know. I think they could potentially win the NFC. I think they can even be Super Bowl contenders. But this is gonna be a big game. I'll roll with you though. I think I'm gonna go with the Vikings, especially at home. Jordan Love does have tendencies of throwing some big time picks. We have seen it before, but Josh Jacobs has been playing out of his mind, man, for this team, and I think that has helped with him limiting Jordan loves turnovers, but I'm gonna go with the Vikings, man. I just think for some reason, man, it seems like it's just their year this year. And then obviously Jair Alexander, I don't know if he's gonna be playing or not. So if with that absence and you got Justin Jefferson and Addison on the outside, I think that could affect him too
Yeah,
if
for
he doesn't
sure.
play.
Yeah. We got the Atlanta Falcons traveling to Washington to face the Commanders. Commanders coming up that big win. Falcons coming off of a good win over the Giants. I know it's the Giants, but still, this will be Penix's first road game. So it'll be in a hostile environment. The Commanders are trying to continue to contend for this division, possibly, and the Falcons are trying to contend for their division. So. Um, I'm gonna go with the Commanders on this one because this is Michael Penix's first road game. If they were at home, I possibly would pick them. But I just think at home, I think the Commanders are going to be rolling high, coming off this dub over the Eagles, and I think it's going to be a close game. I think Penix is going to play well, but I just think that the Commanders may get like a turnover or something off of him, and he might throw a pick or something like that, and Commanders capitalize off of that and win the game. So maybe a field goal or touchdown or whatever. So yeah, I got the Commanders winning.
I think this is gonna be an exciting game. It's gonna be a really good game. I'm really excited to watch this game. Two young quarterbacks. Obviously we know what Jaden Daniels is, and what we think Michael Penix could be. So this is gonna be a great test to see what Penix can do on the road. We have seen Jaden Daniels may have big performances on the road. Michael Penix might be able to do the same thing. It doesn't like he doesn't have talent. You got Bijan
Yeah.
Robinson out there who's been playing really, really well. Drake London has been playing a little bit better.
Mooney.
They're gonna have to figure out this Kyle Pitts shit because the way Kyle Pitts is looking, it might be time for them to look for another tight end because he's just if you can't play well with Michael Penix, who is a precision thrower, like you already had a bad drop that turned into a bad pick, man. It's not looking good for you. But I do have the Commanders winning this. I just think Jaden Daniels will just play better. He's been in
Yeah.
the light a little bit longer than he's been in the light a lot longer than Michael Penix so far this year, so he has a lot more experience. And the Commanders are still playing for seeding. They want to try to compete and maybe possibly get this division, especially if the Cowboys are able to win that game. So yeah, I got the Commanders winning, but this should be an exciting game though. I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Who does your flowers of the week go to, sir?
So my flowers of the week, it's gonna go to everybody, man. I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I hope your holidays are well. I hope you guys get what you want, kids, even the bad ones, man. Hopefully you guys get what y'all want. Um, Hopefully this year, obviously this year has been, everybody's had their ups and downs, man, and we're all gearing up for this crazy 2025. Hopefully it's a lot better for a lot of people. Some people are more nervous than others, but you know what? We're all gonna just grind through it, man. We're gonna finish this year out strong, and then you look, man, we're gonna have a great 2025. I think everybody's gonna have a great 2025. I know me and Chris are striving to have a great 2025 for us and our families, and I want to wish that amongst everybody else, all the friends that I have, people that I don't know, people who support the show. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. I hope y'all families have a great Christmas, great holidays. And man, great health too, man. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm just gonna piggyback off of what you said, man. Just hope everybody have Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Good New Year's. Um, just enter into 2025 better than what you was in 2024, even if it's just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I know people make their New Year's resolutions and all that good stuff, and if that's what you do, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Just don't put too much pressure on yourself to where you could you feel like you got to just accomplish. Like just stick to the one. Once you get to that one, boom, then move on to the next one. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, whatever goals that you set for 2025, and like I said, I hope you guys have good holidays on Christmas. Spend the time with your family. Hug your auntie or your uncle or your cousin that you got a little beef with. You know what I'm saying? Let that go. You know what I'm saying? Don't go into 2025 uh mad. You know what I'm saying? Go in there with a smile on your face. So my flowers go to everybody out there.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Who's your hell now go to?
So I got quick two. So first one goes to 2K, NBA 2K. Like, look, listen here. Um, I was never a my team guy, but I started getting into my team this year. And I was hearing people bitching and complaining about this year's. And I was like, I kind of fuck with it. But look, listen here, man. These gifts that you guys have been giving out for this Christmas shit have been atrocious. Y'all have given out a sweater, a cardigan, a shirt, some bullshit that doesn't really help my team out. These packs are insane. Like the odds are insane. Y'all need to be better. This auction house needs to be better. Like some of the prices on some of these cards are crazy. And then you gotta wait like 30 minutes just to even use the card after you purchase it is wild. Like, bro, like this needs to be a lot better, man. More fun, man. More shit to grind. I'm trying to appreciate this game, but it's really hard right now. Hopefully things will get better. Hopefully y'all actually drop something for Christmas. Better VC, whatever, better card options, whatever it is, man. I need something better. And then two, on a serious note, the Travis Hunter pylon, look, it's getting out of hand. My man just won the Heisman. I know we're seeing a lot of warning signs and red flags that his girl is doing. I saw some shit last night where old girl was partying with some guys, music videos and all this shit. And now you got homie posting it on t-shirts and trying to sell the t-shirts with that. It's getting out of control, man. Like, I get it. We all want what's best for Travis. But let this man make his own decisions. Hopefully he makes the right decision. We just want him to be protected because he's worked hard to get where he's at. He has a great foundation with Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders is not unfamiliar with the game. I'm sure Deion is giving him some advice. Shiloh, Shador, he has a great base around him that I think he'll be okay. I know I made my comments where I think old girl has been doing too much, saying things that she should just keep to herself. And if you're always going to put your relationship in public view, people are going to always make comments, and you got to just accept that. But I think it's getting a little out of hand. Travis Hunter deactivating his Instagram and talking about he's been kind of like battling depression with this. We all know how much he loves this girl. And even if it's correct with all the information that's coming out on how grimy she has been, we can only imagine what that would affect him because he has so much love for this girl. It's going to hit him really hard. He has a lot of stuff coming up with draft, and he has a bowl game coming up and all this stuff, man. And I just want to see this young man thrive in the league. I want to see Shador thrive wherever they go. Those guys have been great for college football. They'll be amazing for the NFL. So I think we all need to just chill out on Travis Hunter and let him live his life. Let him get ready for the draft. And whatever happens with him and his girl, let that happen naturally. And hopefully it's a better outcome for him. Both of them, hopefully they just find happiness and love each other and they could just live happily ever after. And none of that shit will be true, what's being said. But I think it's getting a little out of control. So I think everybody needs to just chill out.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I ain't got no hell no this week. So.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass on.
All right, man. I want to give a shout out to all the people out there. You want to give a Christmas gift to your family.
Get Magnet, the ultimate sports drink. Are you ready to take your performance to the next level? Do you want a sports drink that eliminates the muscle cramps and fatigue when working out or training? Meet Magnet, the sports drink designed for athletes who refuse to settle for mediocrity. I know you're asking why Magnet. It's power-packed electrolytes and rehydrates and restores balance with their scientifically formulated blend with magnesium that fights fatigue and boosts endurance. It has natural ingredients made with real fruit extracts and no artificial colors or flavors. Because your body deserves the best. It has delicious flavors like mixed fruit and watermelon that can keep you revitalized and ready for action. It will boost your performance with essential vitamins and minerals. Magnet fuels your workouts, helping you crush your goals. Join the Magnet movement, whether you're training, competing, or simply staying active. Magnet is your go-to refreshment for peak performance. You can order it now on our direct link at drinkmagnet.com. Also, you can use promo code Cris and Mal to get $5 off your purchase. So, use that. Finish your year out strong with some energy. I know everybody's out there last minute Christmas shopping and all that, low energy, still trying to work, still trying to get ready for the holidays, take a little sip of this, man. Use the code, man. Save a little bread, man. It'll all work out, man. So appreciate Magnet, man. Shout out to them.
Also, you can get these Cris and Mal t-shirts for a good, nice gift for your family or friends or whatever. They're only $25 on any of our social media links. You can see the Printify link. You click on it. You see both shirts, black and white. $25. Shipping, it makes it $29, but nice little gift. You can get it for yourself, or you can get a gift for your friend or your family. You know what I'm saying? And when you get a shirt, tag us in it, and we will shout you out on the show, man. So show some love.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to donate to the Cris and Mal podcast, you can donate to our Cash App, Cris and Mal podcast. Whatever you want to donate to us, we will greatly appreciate it. Like I said, we want to take this podcast to another level. And you need funding to do that. So, but if you want to help out and throw a little something to us, we will greatly appreciate it. Whatever you want to donate, we will accept and appreciate.
Yeah.
Whatever streaming platform you use, whether you use Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, whatever you use to listen to your podcast, the Cris and Mal podcast is available. Also, if your first time watch on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, that like button, that notification button. So when we go live on Mondays at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you can jump in the lives, talk about these topics, because we want to hear from you. Even on the playback, we want to hear from you. Leave a comment. We want you guys to be a part of this show just as much as we are. So that's why we do these live streams, man, because we want to hear y'all opinions too.
Absolutely.
So subscribe to the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever social media platform you use, whether it be X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, Twitch, whatever you use to do your social media on, follow us at Cris and Mal. We will follow you back. We're just some regular guys who like to talk about sports, music, movies, all kinds of various other things. So hit us up, man. Follow us if you have critiques, feedback, or if you have a topic or a question that you want us to bring up on the show. Hit us up via DM, email, or our mentions. And if we like said question or topic, we will bring it up and we'll shout you out, because we want to show love to those who show love to us. So go ahead and hit us up, man, and follow us.
Yes, sir.
All right, good people. Like we said, we won't be here on Wednesday because obviously it is Christmas. So yeah, we'll be spending time with the fam bams and all the good stuff.
Yep.
I hope you guys, like I said, I hope you guys have a good Merry Christmas. We will be back on Monday to give y'all all of our opinions of what we saw over the weekend. And yeah, man, until then.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
Yes, sir.